Welcome to this technical deep dive into the architecture of Cloudera Data Platform, or CDP public cloud. The most critical concept to grasp in CDP is the shared responsibility model. Unlike traditional SaaS where everything lives in the vendor's black box, CDP deploys the data processing infrastructure directly into your own cloud account. Today, we will focus specifically on how CDP integrates with your customer VPC to ensure security, isolation, and data sovereignty. Let's begin with the high-level architecture. CDP is split into two distinct layers. On one side, we have the Cloudera control plane. This is the management layer hosted by Cloudera, which you access via the web console. It handles the command and control logic. On the other side is the data plane. This is the infrastructure that actually processes and stores your data. Crucially, this data plane lives entirely within your cloud provider account, whether that's AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. This means your data never leaves your environment. Cloudera simply orchestrates the resources inside your virtual private cloud, or VPC. This diagram visualizes the separation. At the top is the Cloudera control plane, the remote management hub. It sends instructions down to your cloud account. Inside your account, specifically within your customer VPC, the actual compute instances and data storage are provisioned. This boundary ensures that while Cloudera manages the how, you own the what and where. To operationalize this, we create a CDP environment. Think of an environment as a logical wrapper around your physical network. It maps one-to-one with a VPC in AWS or a VNet in Azure. When you register an environment, you are essentially telling Cloudera, here is the VPC ID, here is the region, and here are the credentials allowed to build inside it. These credentials, such as an AWS cross-account role, grant Cloudera the precise permissions needed to spin up EC2 instances and load balancers on your behalf. Here is the flow of registering an environment. You start at the Cloudera console. You must input three critical pieces of data: the region where the data lives, the VPC ID, the network container, and the credential, the permission key. These three inputs combine to allow Cloudera to successfully provision resources inside your specific network. Inside the VPC, network topology is key. The reference architecture recommends a multi-AZ deployment, typically spreading across three availability zones for resilience. You should configure pairs of subnets, public subnets and private subnets. The heavy lifting your data lake and data hub clusters resides in the private subnets. These nodes have no public IP addresses, ensuring they are not directly reachable from the internet. The public subnets are used strictly for utility infrastructure like NAT gateways, for outbound traffic and load balancers. This visual represents a standard high availability topology. Inside the VPC, we have availability zone 1 and zone 2. Each zone contains a public subnet light blue and a private subnet dark blue. Notice that the actual workloads and data lake instances are explicitly placed in the private subnets, protected from the outside world. If the clusters are private, how does Cloudera manage them? We use the Cluster Connectivity Manager, CCM. Instead of opening dangerous inbound ports in your firewall, an agent inside your VPC initiates a secure, outbound reverse tunnel to the control plane. For highly regulated environments, you can go a step further and use Private Link. This ensures that even the management traffic stays on the cloud provider's private backbone network, never traversing the public internet. This architecture eliminates the need for bastion hosts or public IPs on your cluster nodes. Observe the sequence of secure connection. The Cloudera control plane is on the left, and your VPC agent is on the right. The firewall blocks all inbound traffic. The connection starts at step 1 with the agent inside your VPC reaching out to Cloudera. Once this tunnel is established, Cloudera can send commands back down through it. Step 3. Ensuring full manageability without exposing your network. Security within the VPC is enforced by IAM roles and security groups. IAM roles, or managed identities in Azure, allow the EC2 instances to access object storage like S3 without hard-coded keys. Security groups act as virtual firewalls. You generally have a NOC security group, which is the front door. You should restrict this to your corporate VPN IP range for user access. Behind that, the default security group allows unrestricted communication between the cluster nodes themselves, which is essential for distributed systems like Spark and HDFS to function. This flow shows the security layering. External traffic from the corporate VPN enters only through the NOC gateway security group. Once inside, traffic flows to the worker nodes. Notice the self-referencing arrow on the worker nodes SG. This represents open internal communication. Finally, the nodes use IAM roles to securely access the data storage S3/ADLs at the bottom. The anchor of your VPC deployment is the data lake. This is not just storage, it is a long-running cluster that hosts the shared context for your environment. It runs free IPA for identity management, Ranger for security policies, and the Hive Metastore. A critical component here is ID Broker, which maps your CDP users to cloud IAM roles, allowing them to access S3 or ADLs transparently. Once this data lake is running, every other cluster you create attaches to it, inheriting these security configurations automatically. Inside the private subnet sits the SDX data lake. It encapsulates free IPA, Ranger, and ID broker. The arrows from the data engineering cluster and data warehouse show that these transient workloads attach to the data lake. They rely on the data lake for user identity and security policies, creating a unified environment within your VPC. Finally, let's review the deployment workflow. Step 1 is prerequisites. You create the VPC and IAM roles, often using a CloudFormation or ARM template provided by Cloudera. Step 2 is registration. You provide these details to the Cloudera control plane. Step 3 is bootstrapping. Cloudera validates your network connectivity and automatically provisions the data lake. Once that is healthy, you are ready for Step 4, scaling. You can now launch data hubs or data services into your subnets on demand, knowing the foundation is secure and compliant. This process flow summarizes the lifecycle. Start at CloudInit to build the VPC and IAM, move to Register N to connect Cloudera. The system then automatically executes deploy data lake. Once green, you proceed to launch workloads. The arrows below show the dependencies. VPC/IAM feeds registration. Credentials enable the data lake, and the data lake's shared context enables the workloads.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material. So this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now the third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepared for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.